Now, I wouldn't normally blatantly copy somebody else's work, but this is going to be an exception because the lovely Johanna at Loose Soul Creations has sent me this fantastic mould all the way from Australia. It's a pouring your heart out mould, and goodness knows what the postage cost her. So, Johanna, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I just don't know what to say. The thing is spectacular. Now, I'm going to copy completely, or try to, one of the processes that she's recently done in a video. And that was a Larimar. Now, I've never been able to do Larimar, so I've just been watching her video and making notes. And I have no idea if I'm making up too much resin here, but never mind. Is the standard epoxy from Resin to 1:1, nice and easy. I think from Johanna's video, she uses a sort of medium viscosity, so that's what this is. I've got the colours ready. Let's get mixing. I'm just hoping that this is enough. So while I'm stirring, I'll talk to you about the colours. I'm going to use similar colours to what she did. I've got sapphire blue. I've got violet. And I've got magenta. Now, I don't know whether they're exactly the same shades of blue and so on, because they're a different brand. They're Resin. But it's something similar. The other thing I've got to be the white is the bloom paste from Create and Bloom, because I don't have any of the white that Johanna uses either. I must get some. So I'm hoping that this will do a similar job. And I've got some silver sparkly stuff to go in the centre. So let's get mixing then. There we go. I think that's pretty well mixed. Now, I'm not going to worry about the bubbles in it. I've stirred a bit too quick and there's bubbles as usual. I'm not going to be worrying too much about the bubbles in there because it should have plenty of time for the bubbles to drop out, and this resin does tend to debubble. I know Johanna did use her debubbling machine with hers, but frankly, I haven't got room on my desk for it at the moment, so I won't be. So we want enough white to cover the bottom. Now, this is a completely different shape mould to what she used. So whether that will have an impact, I just don't know. I've poured out a little bit too much there, we'll see. Because I need a little bit for the push-pull effect at the end, don't I? I can always mix a bit more up if I need to, can't I? Right, that's that. Now, let's get that out of there for a start. Again, I don't know if that'd make any difference, but start with a clean mould, and the moisture from my Wonder Wipe will dry really quickly. So we don't need to worry too much about that. Now let's mix up our blue first. This is a really nice dark blue. And from what Johanna was saying, it does need to be kind of still a bit translucent. Less translucent than that though. That's too translucent. So I'm adding in quite a bit of the blue. Because although it wants to be see-through, I think it still wants to be a reasonably strong colour. And these are actual resin dyes. I could have used a paste, I suppose. That would have been quicker in terms of making the colour rich and solid more quickly, but hey. And then I'm going to actually, I think I might split that in half. One thing I'm a bit unclear on is whether you're meant to let your resin warm up a bit first. But let's see what happens. Oh, that's nice. It's a lovely purple. I'm still going to go for a bit more of the colours in each of these before I actually pour them. This could be too much. Johanna's probably cringing if she's watching this. I don't know. And we're going to put magenta in this one, of which is a little bit less, just to give a bit more of a ping to whichever end of the colours I put this one. Look at that. Isn't that lovely? Let's go, have some more. I'm being quite generous with these colours, as you can see. Squirting rather than dripping. Bit gung-ho, I know. Right, let's do our white next. We need enough to cover the base. Now, this looks like this is the bit where you have to be a bit careful, I think. That's probably way too much. Oh, dear. Let's see how opaque that is. Way too opaque. Right, I'm going to tip some of that out into here, like so, because that is way too opaque. I squirted I squirted and it was too much. So let's hope this is better. Yeah, that's looking better. Because you want it kind of a bit translucent, I believe. Yeah, I hope that's okay. I don't know. Add a bit more resin. I'm going to end up chucking some of this into another mould somewhere, aren't I? Clearly, I'm going to end up with too much, I think. Right, I think I'm there. That's kind of semi-translucent. Now, the little twist I was going to do was just put a tiny bit of dark matter in, and I can't get the lid off. Okay, with a glove. There we go. Now, only the tiniest little bit, so I'm just going to use a paintbrush to brush a bit out. There we are. And that's one of the ethereal pigments from Toonfish Crafts. Fresh glove. I just wanted to give it a little tiny shimmer, but subtle. You can barely see it. Oh, that might have been a waste of time. We'll see. Right now, what I saw Johanna do is cover the base completely with the creamy white. Oh, maybe I didn't mix up too much. We're taking this right up to the edges. Going to let the bubbles disperse. Now I am going to use a heat torch on this because Johanna did on hers, and also I've seen Julie Cuts from Pouring Your Heart Out, who actually makes these moulds, using a torch on hers. So this silicone must be okay with actual torches. So I'm just going to knock the bubbles off the surface of that. I'm starting to see little bits of that dark matter coming through, just a bit. I'm just going to do this and release the bubbles a bit. This is something else I saw Johanna do. These sticks, by the way, are silicone coated, so I'm not going to be scratching the mould. Quick whiz with the torch. Please don't take this as a tutorial as to how to do this, by the way. As I said, it's something I've never actually been able to do. I was just watching Johanna's video and thought, oh, I'm going to try that. Right, I think she went for the blue in the centre. I might do it the other way around and go for the pink in the centre. Or magenta, to be exact. Trying to be as central as I can, because whatever's in the centre, I think, is whatever ends up round the outside. Oh, got some drips where I didn't want them. Hopefully that won't matter. Right, there's my magenta. And then we're going to do the violet. Remember, I did just put an extra couple of drips of the colour in at the end, didn't I? So there we are. Going to give it a good stir is what I meant. Well, this looks very jazzy at the moment, doesn't it? Yeah, that's why it's going everywhere. It's getting on my glove. Right. And then finally, we're going in with the blue. And then I've got to wait for it to close up, apparently. And, you know, for it to do its push and pull thing. And then I dollop some clear in the middle. So while that's doing that, I'll find something to put the rest of this white in, because I don't like wasting it. It is starting to do something. And of course, I'll also be mixing up some clear, so I'll be back in a moment. Right, as you can see, that has already almost pulled into the centre. Got a weird blob there, and I don't know why. Is that where I did one of my drips? No, the drips were pink, weren't they? Don't get it. Anyway, hopefully it won't matter. Get a bit more warmth into it. So it's moving fairly quickly. I'm just mixing up some more clear to do the little dump in the centre, creating a stack of bubbles again. Really should get my debubbler out. By the way, the debubblers that I favour for bigger stuff, most definitely the Let's Resin one. It's just really, really good. And it's big, which is great. Let's just going to let this debubble a little bit while that's finishing pulling itself into the centre. It's nearly there already. See if I can do this without setting fire to my little pot. Get a little bit of warmth into it as well, won't it? Nearly there. This is a good sign that my tabletop's more level than it used to be as well. I used to end up with the centres pulling every time I tried to do anything funky like this. Right, it's nearly there. Just give it a little bit longer. And I've just put a cheeky bit of that dark matter, as it's called, in with the clear. Again, this might be a bad move. We'll see. But I did want to see that little bit of, can you see, a bit of a gleaming blue coming through. Oh, we're nearly there. Nearly there. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Trying not to be impatient. Are any of us actually patient? The amount of times I see resin people's videos saying, they say, oh, but I'm not patient enough. It's the one craft you do need to be patient for, isn't it? But I think we're all the same. Come on, you can do it. Is that near enough, do you think? A bit more heat in there. It must be getting quite warm by now. I think that's near enough because I'm just not patient enough. Right, let's hope that is the centre. Oh, look at my clear. That's gone very pretty. I hope that does something. So whilst I have blatantly copied Johanna, in honour of her being able to do things like this with incredible skill and so perfectly, I have added my own little twist. Only a bit. I just hope that was enough clear. It's nearly up to the top. Looks like it's pulling and pushing and doing something. Let's get some sparkle in the middle. That's the next thing. Oh, just realised how much the light was shining off it. It's a problem with the shiny crafts, isn't it? When you're trying to film. It looks like it's doing something in the middle. Pulling in somehow. I don't want it to, I want it to spread a little bit. Just a few little bits out from the, so it's not all just in the centre. Look a little bit more, I don't know, natural, you could say. I mean, I could spritz that surface with alcohol. That would make that sink better, but we'll see. I don't think there's much I can do now. We've just got to wait and let it do its thing and hope it works. It's doing something, but heck knows whether it's doing what I want it to do. I don't know. Johanna did do a lot of torching like this, so strange line in the centre there. What's that? Is it a hair? Is it? No, it's just a strange line. Right, I've got a lot of pot cleaning to do. I'll see you later. Can leave it a few hours, obviously. Right, let's have a demould. The back hasn't done anything beautiful like Johanna's do. Help, Johanna. I can feel a collab coming on. So definitely not Larimar, but it was trying to, wasn't it? I don't know what you'd call that effect. My putting my shimmery blue in worked in places, but obviously I hadn't mixed it in terribly well in some. So I rather love it. Yeah, but it certainly wasn't what I was looking for. I seem to be barking up the right tree though, don't I? Anyway, I've just been talking to Johanna, and we are going to do a collaboration soon with the Larimar effect, and she's going to help me. Isn't that cool? So look out for that collaboration coming soon. Thank you, Johanna, and thank you again for this wonderful chunk of happy mail here. I'm just absolutely blown away that you sent me that all the way from Australia. And it is one of the proper pouring your heart out moulds. It's just beautiful. So thanks, Johanna. Everyone, yes, look out for that collaboration coming up soon, where she's going to teach me how to do this properly. In the meantime, you know what? I actually like it anyway. Thanks ever so much, folks. If you like this video, YouTube thinks you'll like the one that's going to pop up here shortly as well. So I'll see you over there.